Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me to this meeting. This is going to be a quick overview of our design proposal for the UMGC Rental Properties online portal by me, Norman Chikov. So we're going to go through our mission statement, then we'll take a look at the design for the employee side and then the customer side and discuss some of the features as we go along. Let's get to it. So to give a quick overview of our guiding principles going through this process, I have two quotes kind of in mind by Jonathan Ive. There's beauty when something works and works intuitively. Really, the hope for this design is to create a system that's as straightforward and easy to follow as possible without the user having to think too much or recognize patterns within the system. They should just be able to pick it up and use it right away. And secondly, a general principle of all user interface design is to go through all your design elements and remove them one at a time, which may seem kind of paradoxical, but the idea is to distill the design down to only the features that really matter to the user and that are going to be helpful and remove all the extra fluff or hide it and obfuscate it for those users who really need it, so that the majority of the people who are going to use their system have an easier time. So with those two things in mind, the mission statement is to create a system that is simple and intuitive without additional cumbersome features that would only serve as distractions from the main functionality of the system. And hopefully we have done that. Let's go ahead and see how we've accomplished this goal. So, of course, we have one system. It needs three facets in order to function. We're going to go through each one in turn. There's going to be the employee side, which, of course, the employees need to manage the properties as per the contract that was drawn up. The tenant or the landowners will send their information to the employees who will then input it into the system. That way there's no access to this side of our operations outside of those individuals who are trusted. Therefore this is a nice secure portal. We have the nice straightforward, clean looking customer side, which will have for desktop and mobile. The two versions are by design very similar. That way if the customer switches between one and the other, they have a very easy time adjusting, understand exactly how to use it, and they should be able to understand exactly how to use it just by glancing at it right away. All three of these facets are going to work together to deliver a perfect customer experience and to make the employees' jobs easier. So let's go ahead and see some screens and walk through how exactly this is going to be accomplished. So here we have our login page for the employee system. We're going to start with this one first. Of course, you see very minimalistic here. We have your username and password to log in. If you forget your username and password, you can click this button, or you can contact the Department of Human Resources. Here, this populates an email to the HR department, and the employee can then reach out to them. Once you're in, you're going to see this screen. Again, not a whole lot going on here. Should you need support, it's very important that any employee who does find themselves struggling has access to help if they need it. So here we have our support department link or the 1-800 number. And then over here you only see three options. So by minimizing the options, we're minimizing the possible confusion, and we're really making it very obvious to the user how to operate this portal. So this should be able to be launched with minimal training for the employees. Here you can type in a search query. So if you're looking for a specific property, you can specify any aspect that you'd like to search for, and the smart search algorithm will look for that specific attribute. So for instance, you could say a specific square footage, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, the name of the landowner, and any of those criteria, and you'll get a result of various searches in a different window, which we'll look at next. You can you do that by hitting quick search or enter. You can hit add property to add new properties, or advanced search to search for other, to bring up a list of all the things you can search for, and you can put in a more clear query there. Now, Of course, we do need a management side to this website. The management side, again, is very, very similar. This way, there's very little additional training necessary. Everything is very intuitive. And the additional features are, again, kept to a bare minimum. So very straightforward. We have the management portal here. Same basic properties and options here. But we can also add authorized users, and we can manage users. So should we want to, we can add a new user. You click add authorized users. You can put in various information. You can hit add user. You can hit manage users if you needed to remove somebody. And of course, only the HR department and the management team is going to have access to this portal. And they'll still be able to do all the regular searches, adding properties, and basic functionalities that you could normally do. We still have our easy to reach help department here should something go awry, but hopefully this is going to be very smooth. Next, we have our employee search. So this is all the various parts you could specify when you run this search. The properties that most closely match your query are going to show up first, and you can specify whether you would like something to be exclusive or preferred, or sorry, required or preferred rather. So if you click on a field, it becomes required, marked in blue, and then preferred, marked in pink. So nice, easy to follow color codes, and this should allow you to easily tailor your search to whatever it is you need to find. So if you needed to search, this is the screen you would find, and here you can have various aspects of this you can edit. Similarly, if you were to add a new property, you'll get the same screen but with nothing on it. And here you can upload images, delete the property, remove property from listings, and so on and so forth, and edit various information. So it'd be up to the employees to make sure all of this information is correct. And then once they're ready, they can go ahead and list the property. So this button right here that says remove property from listings would read list property. If the property wasn't already listed, you click it and you're able to see it on the customer side. Now, how does the customer side work? Well, the customer side looks very similar. Again, by design, keeping it very streamlined and minimalistic. We have here the same kinds of ideas, so the customer can again search or advanced search. Once they are ready, they are able to contact us by either clicking this contact button, which generates an email prompt for them, or they can call us to then set up an appointment and get their rental on their way. Now, these are the featured properties, and if should the customer go ahead and search for a specific property, they can do that as well. They'll get a similar kind of prompt here that you saw on the employee side, but of course theirs does not allow them to edit it. You can view all the various pictures by clicking these arrows. You can click on the pictures to enlarge them. If you are done looking at this one, you can scroll down to all the other properties that are below that match the search that you entered. Now, if the customer goes to mobile, we want to make sure that everything we've come up with so far doesn't need to be relearned or complicated in any way. So in order to adjust for the different dimensions of the screen and to keep everything running smoothly, we simply move this menu up here to the top, allowing the customer in the same kinds of options as the desktop version, and this bar here stays in the same location, much like the bar we saw here. As you scroll down and look at all the various properties, therefore you have an easy way to navigate amongst the pages should you need to refine your search or make a different search, or simply wish to contact us quickly. So all of those options are always there in both versions. And of course, in the mobile version, this would be all touchscreen controlled, which would be essentially the only difference, making this easy to code and hopefully increasing our time or fastening our timetable for release. With that, I hope you enjoyed the presentation. If you have any questions, I'd be delighted to answer them now. And I look forward to deployment. Thank you very much.